thank you for attending the Netsuite Usability Audit webinar. My name is Raynor. I'm one of the consultants at Nolan Business Solutions, and this webinar is to take you through a couple of services that we offer and to really let you know what they're about and how they can help you. First of all, I will be discussing what a usability audit is and whether or not an audit is going to be for you. Do you need one? And how Nolan Business Solutions conducts the usability audit and what we require from you. And then I'll take a look at some typical additions that we have used to enhance users' experience and also typical questions that we have that are raised during a usability audit that then sort of go on and allow us to be able to assist you in however that may be, new products, amending processes, some additional training, or even just some tips and tricks as we carry out that usability audit for you and with you. So first of all, what is a usability audit? So typically we carry these out on site with key members of the team. So sometimes that's the whole team, and sometimes that is just sort of that key member of that department that has got a good handle on what's happening as part of that team, maybe problems that team is having at the moment, or maybe discussing how you want to progress that team moving forwards. So it's not necessarily about sort of dealing with issues that you have at the time. It's about looking to the future, making sure you have all the skills and the system is set up in a way that allows you to progress and grow within that department. It's an opportunity for one of the consultants or a developer to be able to review the current processes and establish whether or not you're making the most out of Netsuite. So as I say, the growth within the organisation, and are you using it in the most efficient way? And we'll work with you and make sure that you're utilising all the tools that are available within NetSuite to allow you to be as proactive and productive within your role as possible. So do you need a usability audit? These are some of the questions which really sort of help identify whether or not an audit is going to assist you. So have you been using NetSuite for a number of years and feel that you're not getting the best from the system? Has your business changed and now you need the system to better reflect the new business focus and goals? Have the people originally trained to use the system moved on and that system knowledge has been eroded? Did project fatigue set in after the initial go live and items which have been scheduled for future phases of implementation sort of never got completed? I think for us and for me as well personally, the sort of the last two are probably the most common ones that we come across with regards to when a usability audit is going to really come into play and really assist you. The sort of changing of users within roles tends to be one of the big ones, because the knowledge that gets passed on is only the knowledge that person had at the time, and generally doesn't seem to be that whole picture. So it just gets sort of washed down as new members join that team. And also, as well with the projects, we may just get a project up and running, and during that project we identify other areas of the system that we believe will assist you, that maybe you're not really ready to start implementing yet. So we have those as phase 2 and phase 3, but sometimes phase 2 and phase 3 do get sort of put on the back burner, and it's always good to be able to revisit those and just sort of keep the momentum running so that you are utilising all the best features of the system, whether that's even development or just implementing a product that you may already have but just have never got round to getting set up. So how we carry these out, as I say, they're typically on site with key members of your team who are able to give us the best information that's relevant for what's going on in the team at the time. So we would then sort of listen to what you have to say, understand those requirements, and then we would decide with you how best to move you forward. And that could be that you just need some training. And as we're going through and talking about some of the items that you're raising, it might be that we can offer solutions to you there and then. So if we can obviously give you some quick fixes to any of the items that you're raising as part of that meeting, then we will do so. It might be that your processes have got a little bit jumbled up, and we can help by maybe putting some workflows in or just rejigging how you're currently working through the system in order to find the best path for you, most efficient path. New features is another one, and it may be that you are using NetSuite in the most efficient way, you're getting the best out of it, but there are some new features that have come along that you've not had a chance to review, and we can identify whether or not any of those new releases are going to assist you in your current processing. Or it may be that the answer is having an add-on product. For example, ABR, our Advanced Bank Reconciliation product. This in conjunction with Statement Direct allows for your bank statements to be imported in directly from your bank into NetSuite, where reconciliations can take place and match up your transactions. Some people come with 150 bank accounts, which they're currently manually having to update. So by introducing a product that can automate a lot of that for you is going to save you a lot of time and also a lot of manual reconciliations that are potentially happening outside of the system. One product that I've come across that's quite a common one is fixed assets. Fixed assets can start out okay in an Excel spreadsheet, for example, but over the course of time, when you have more assets and those assets start depreciating and you're selling them and you're transferring them and you're splitting them out, all of maintaining that and populating your spreadsheets and managing that with journals and the system can become quite a time-consuming task. So by having the fixed asset module automate all of that for you, that can save you a lot of time. I have a few screen prints here that just go through some of the screens that are available to you as part of fixed assets. As with most modules that you have with NetSuite, once a module has been implemented, then you have dashboards and KPIs that will be added so that everybody within the organisation is viewing that one source of information. So this is just an asset, just really to show you those key netbook and depreciation fields that you're maintaining typically in an Excel spreadsheet are all visible within the asset, and obviously all the safe searches that you have within NetSuite as well. Who has the asset, where is the physical location of the asset, and also did this asset originate from a purchase order? Which supplier did it come from? Has it been entered possibly through a journal? So all of the automation of actually creating the assets can be done through the standard processing of your transaction in the system. And the depreciation history all maintained against the asset for you to be able to review and drill down to if required at any time. And the asset register, which again, lots of calculations typically that are all taking place within Excel. All of this information is maintained as standard within the safe searches and within the product. Another item that can be very sort of useful for you to have that information at the tip of your fingers is maybe you're not getting the most out of your dashboards and the landing pages that you have. These can be customized and they can be updated to show you what you need to be able to see. Maybe that you have your own personal one, lots of different people are sharing different dashboards. It might just be a case of being able to publish them, decide what you want on one of them and roll it out across it to everybody in the role. Taking an extreme example here where there's not really much happening, it may be that it just needs to be updated, pulled together by using some of the KPIs, potentially the KPI scorecards as well, which allow you to be able to sort of pull that key information that's relevant to your role onto one screen. I mentioned new features. This is one of the new features that's in 2018.1, which has been sort of identified as being quite a useful one. And this is the multi-customer subsidiary. So previously, you had to create a customer per subsidiary, and that was a brand new customer, and you had to be able to pull those information together if you want to be able to have one global view of what's happening against the customer. Now, one customer can be added across multiple subsidiaries. And balances are maintained against each of those subsidiaries. Statements can be run against each of those subsidiaries against that same customer as well. So just by maybe us being aware of those new releases and coming and having a conversation with you, we're able to pull that together and just make some of your existing processes a lot easier for you to maintain and report against. Some of the typical questions that we are sort of asked are just put together here. So we manage our revenue and expense deferrals through spreadsheets. Is this something NetSuite can do? So NetSuite does have a revenue recognition module which allows you to assign schedules to the transactions, and you can assign it when those need to start and how you want that schedule to work against the transaction. And again, same with the expense side of it, there's the amortization module that's within NetSuite, which works in a similar way. So just by being aware of those, this is another element that can be brought in from our Excel spreadsheet and into NetSuite. We've recently made an acquisition and are now finding it's difficult to manage our projects, and we're losing sight of our project costs and profitability. Perhaps looking at the professional services automation or the resource planning product within NetSuite is going to help you better track those costs and look at your job profitability. We need to update our customer subscriptions to be GDPR compliant. How can we do this? Obviously, this is a sort of fairly recent topic that we were getting a lot of questions about, and customers weren't really aware of how to correctly use, or even if that was a possibility, of the sort of the mail merge and also the automation, the sort of the marketing automation, to be able to opt in and opt out of certain subscriptions that you have on the system. So just by offering a little bit more training around this, you're able to maintain that and manage not just for GDPR, but any additional subscriptions that you have coming up in the future. Can we maintain a separate exchange rate for our budgets that is separate to a consolidated budget? So for those multi-currency one world sites, this is particularly useful where you can maintain a separate exchange rate specifically for your budgets. Can I create a personalized email with attached PDF invoices for my customers? So again, yes, with having bulk emails being able to send out with the invoices attached as PDFs, and also to be able to personalize those emails as they're being sent out by using the tag fields that will substitute relevant customer information as those emails are sent out. So all of these types of questions are typical ones that get raised, and if some of these may sound familiar, maybe we just need to have a little chat with you and be able to work out how we can allow you to make the most out of the system. You've made a big investment in NetSuite, so it's worthwhile you making sure that you're still getting the most out of the system. One of the additional services that we are looking to sort of get your feedback on, really, and whether or not this is something that is of interest to you, would be the outsourced IT administration. So there's quite a lot of the times that we find customers want us to be able to create new users for them, handle the role permissions, dashboards, reports, monthly routines. It might be that the person that you used to have that was administrating the system has moved on to a different role, and there's not really been anyone that has the time to be able to take the place of doing these types of processes. So we are looking at providing a service that will cater and manage these items for you. Maybe just a select few, or maybe you have other items that you'd like to add onto that list. But if that is something of interest to you, then we would really like to hear from you about that. So let us continue to support you for the present and the future to maximise your return on your investment. So thank you for taking the time to attend this webinar, and if you do have any questions, please use the contact details that are on the slide. Thank you.